Hey, everybody. Um, Thomas, the dad's divorce coach here, just coming to you. This is Monday morning, the 22nd of January, and I just wanted to come in here and just share something. I got a question for you. When your life is coming to a close, when you're, I don't know what that's going to look like for you, but when you're on your deathbed and you're contemplating your life, what will your biggest regret be? What will the regret of your life be defined as? If you could go back and undo one thing or redo or fix or whatever one thing about life, what would that be? I know we've all thought about this, and many of us focus a little bit too much on that moment in life, that that regret. And I think one of the biggest things that comes to our mind a lot of times when we look back and when we do regret those things, we uh, we come to ask the question, "What could I do differently? What could I have done differently?" The problem with human nature, the problem with regret is that it's usually done after the fact. It's usually done. We don't usually regret things we haven't done yet. We regret things that are already past. We regret things that we have no control over. We regret things that um, cannot be undone. We regret things that um, we have no control to fix, to adjust, to improve. So the question becomes not what is going to be my biggest regret, but what do I need to do? What are the little steps I need to take? What are the daily habits and actions and routines that I need to put in place to minimize the regret that I might have in that time? But here's the thing that I found working with the clients that I work with and working with and just interacting as a human with people in my life. I'm not going to fear that regret nearly as much if I'm living my life, expressing myself, pursuing my path, living every moment of every day, loving my life and living it to the full, the abundance. Because I'll tell you what, I believe this: the person that's lying on their deathbed one day, years from now, for hopefully a long time, many years from now for me, the biggest thing I know that I'll be regretting is missed opportunities. It's not going to be the big mistakes I've made in my life. It's not going to be those things that I wish I could have gone back and fixed or done right. Because I believe this certainly. Every decision you've ever made has led you to where you are now. Every decision you have made, the good, the bad, the ugly, has led you to where you stand, where you are right now. So I want to encourage you today, do not be afraid of regret. It's one of the four biggest fears that we struggle with in our lives. It's one of the four biggest fears that keep you stuck in place from living that life, from moving forward, from experiencing the joy, the abundance, the happiness that is possible with life. It's the fear of regret. And if I'm afraid of that regret, that fear can actually keep me from living that life, from expressing myself and following my path. And if I allow the control of that fear to take hold, the regret that I will have that day will be immense. The regret that I will experience on those last days of my life will be overwhelming. So I want to encourage you today, don't fear regret. Don't fear having something at the end of your life that you wish you could have fixed. We will all be there. We will all have. And the best way to combat that, the number one easiest, most enjoyable way to move past that fear, to move into a season of abundance and joy, is to follow your path today. Take up that opportunity, go through that open door. Don't stand there and hesitate in the wake of opportunity or in the wake of failure and wonder what's next, and what's happening to me. Because if you live your life that way, that will be your biggest regret. Way beyond the mistakes you made, way beyond the things you knew you could have done better or differently. It will be the regret of, I didn't live in the moment enough. I wasn't present in my skin in that moment enough. And that will be my biggest regret. So today, you may be living in the wake of a failed marriage. You may be living in the wake of just a disastrous time in your life. I don't know. We all go through those times. But I want to encourage you today that today is clean with no mistakes in it yet. Today is yours for the choosing. Today is yours for the living. So I want to encourage you today to learn, obviously, learn from our past, from the things that we could have done differently. Learn from those things. Okay. Love every minute of where you're going to be today, who you're going to interact with today, what you're going to accomplish today, the opportunities that are presented to you today. Love every second of those things and live well in every second of every day. And I promise you that if that is your path, if that is the path you choose for yourself and you take every single day, the regret you're going to have on that bed at the end of your life will be much, much less, much smaller. So let's not think about that day. Let's not consider and dwell on the end of our lives. But at the same time, we're never guaranteed tomorrow. I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to see the end of this day. And if I'm not living each moment with abundance, with reckless abandon to tell fear where to go, if I'm not living my life that way, my regrets will compile. Walls, if you're making a structure, a building, a brick wall or whatever, the wall itself is made up of entirely small bricks, right? The term Rome wasn't built in a day. Sure, houses are made that way, where you build a foundation, and each foundation is built with one block at a time, laying cement 1 yard at a time, building the wall one stud at a time, one nail at a time, painting the wall one brush stroke and paintbrush full of paint at a time. Everything that we will build in life will be the compilation, the combination, the sum of a lot of little parts. Your life is made up of hundreds and thousands of days, millions and billions of seconds. Make every second count. Make every day count. Do the best you can with each brick in the wall of your life, in the structure of your life. And when that house is built and complete, and you're standing back and looking at that house and looking at the life that you've lived, and every moment of blood, sweat, and tears that you've poured into that life, into that house, you'll be able to look on that structure, look on that life, in spite of its indiscretions, in spite of its mistakes, in spite of the little things that could have been better. And you're going to say, I lived a good life and I loved every minute of it. All right. That's your message for Monday. Everybody, have a great week. Have a great week and live every moment of this week. Make this the most abundant, joy-filled, fantastic week that you've ever lived. And let me know how it's going. And if you need any help doing that, you know where to find us. You can book a free call with our resources doc at livewellcoaching.co/resources. You'll find the link in our bio. Just take advantage of that free service, because we're here to help you learn and love and live well. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Bye bye.